Starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, this is Jeremy McLerran, Director of Marketing for Qolsys. Really excited to have everyone on the webinar today. People are flooding into the room right now, and I appreciate everyone taking time out of their busy Monday to join us. We'll get kicked off in just a moment here as we get prepped and get ready to start. I want to make sure that we don't have any technical difficulties, that everybody can hear me okay, and kind of introduce you to the format that what we're going to use today. Very first off, if you'll direct your attention to the GoToWebinar control panel that you use to log into the webinar today, there should be a section on there called Chat or Questions. As you probably have figured out already, you're on mute, and we will not be able to hear you if you vocalize any questions or make any comments. However, that doesn't mean we don't want to hear them. We absolutely want this to be an interactive webinar. We want to get your feedback. We want to get your opinions. I want you to feel like you can participate 100% in here. And as that, if you've got a question or a comment that you'd like to make, whether it's just a quick question that you need a quick answer to, Whitney White, who's our manager of marketing and education, is here on the line today, and she'll be answering those questions for you. If it's something that's pertinent to the whole group and will be something that of value for the rest of us, she'll try and interrupt us and get your question on the air today. So again, we're really excited to have everyone here today. And while we're getting that all figured out, I want to make sure that you guys can all see that question thing. So if you go to your little question section on your GoToWebinar control panel, type something in there. Say hello. I'd like to know where you're calling in from. My name is, like I mentioned, Jeremy McLerran, Director of Marketing for Qolsys. I'm based out of our Utah office. However, I'm traveling and visiting one of our customers in Chicago today. So I'm standing out in Evanston, looking across the way at a train passing by me, and we've got big, huge buildings everywhere. It's a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to be here. Looks like we've got West Virginia. Tracy, welcome. Good to see you again. Rockland, California. Emily, welcome. We've got Steve in Phoenix. Jim in Philly. Awesome, awesome. Brenda, welcome. Adam, North Battleford. Oh, looks like we got a Canadian in here. Excellent. Greg from Atlanta, welcome, welcome. South Dakota, Dallas, Washington, Tampa, Florida. I bet it is beautiful there. It's nice and windy here in Chicago today. As I got off the plane this morning, it was a nice cool breeze, but it's still sunshiny, so it was like the perfect temperature. Absolutely amazing. Southern Florida, Denver, Colorado, New Orleans, San Jose, California, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Excellent. Rodney, welcome. Miami, West Virginia, Livermore. We've got people from all over the place. Campbell River, British Columbia. Excellent. So we have a lot of people from all over the place. I'm really excited to have everyone here. Again, we've got a lot of people on this webinar today. We hope you get a lot of information that's useful for you, and we really try and focus all of this information around tactical information that you can actually use, things you can actually do things with. We are recording this webinar, and if you'd like to watch it later on today, you're certainly welcome to do so. We'll be uploading it to our YouTube channel. You can just go to youtube.com/Qolsys and be able to access it there. I'm going to go ahead and show my screen so you guys can see my presentation. We'll go through a quick PowerPoint. I also want to make a quick, hold on a second, I gotta get my little GoToMeeting thing off the screen because otherwise I won't be able to see anything. All right, I also want to make a quick introduction to our guest today, Carmen Smith, the Director of Partner Marketing Services. Carmen, welcome to our webinar.
Thank you, great to be here.
I understand you've got some people with you too, right?
I do. I have some backup here just in case anybody asks any technical questions. So we have Kevin and Katie here with us as well. Say hello.
Hi guys. Hey, how you guys doing?
So I'm on the Partner Marketing Services team, which means my role is really to make sure that our dealer partners have whatever they need to market their business and to assist them in sort of getting the word out and using all the wonderful things that are available from alarm.com to help dealers market their business. Kevin and Katie are our technical account managers team, and so they're here because, of course, me as the marketing person does not have the best technical knowledge, and I wanted to make sure that we could answer everybody's question as thoroughly as possible.
That's excellent. Excellent. Good thinking. Thank you for doing that. And Kevin and Katie, thank you for being on today and joining us. Hopefully we'll get you some good questions that'll challenge your brains. Carmen, how long have you been in your role there at alarm.com?
I am just short of 2 years so far.
Excellent. Excellent. What's been the most fun thing you've done for a dealer since you started?
We do crazy stuff all the time. So I would say, one of our most popular things that we do for a lot of our dealers is a service called Customer Connections, and that's dealers love that because it's a automated email marketing campaign that a lot of people spend a lot of time creating, and we can do for them with just a push of a button. So dealers seem to love that. So it's great being able to offer some services that dealers really find a lot of value in.
Yeah, and it's great because it's, for those of you that haven't taken advantage of that, it's a way to drum up new business or additional business from your existing customers. And if we've got the time for it, we'll definitely be diving into that a little bit later in today's webinar. So thank you very much. Whitney, any questions right off the bat that we should attack? And would you mind maybe starting that first poll?
Brenda is asking, Carmen, do you deal with Canada, or where specifically do you deal with?
Yes, we actually have dealers in Canada. We have dealers actually in several countries all over the world, but most of our dealers are in the U.S. and Canada.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Whitney, would you do that first poll? I'd like to do we've got a couple polls for you guys too that we want to make sure, so it kind of helps us establish what you guys are, what kind of people we're talking to, if this is your first Qolsys webinar, if you're currently installing Qolsys products, things like that. So first off, obviously, you want to know if this is your first one. It helps us understand whether or not we need to, give you some background information on Qolsys, or if everyone's a Qolsys webinar veteran, then we could certainly skip past that and get right into the meat. And it looks like about half of you are brand new, so welcome. Really, really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to join us. I hope you enjoy the webinar today. And again, we want this to be really interactive. If you've got questions, if you've got concerns, if you've got comments you want to make, best practices you'd like to share with the group, we'd love to hear from you. So use that question section over on your GoToWebinar control panel. We're going to go ahead and close that poll, and I'd like to ask the second question now. Go ahead and do that one, Whitney. Are you currently installing the IQ panel or the DSC Touch panel in your business? I want to know if it's yes, no, or if maybe you're evaluating right now. Maybe what you see on today's webinar, the answers you get on today's webinar, will allow you to make a better decision. While you guys are filling that question out, I do want to draw your attention to next week's webinar, which is a CEU accredited webinar. So for those of you that have technicians that want to earn some CEU credits, maybe want to get some additional training on the IQ panel and our platform and our devices, that's a 3-hour class. Again, it's done over webinar. It's CEU accredited, and it will give you a chance to really learn everything. We go through the IQ panel, all the settings. We go through AirFX, how to make all those changes to the IQ panel remotely, all of the powerful tools that alarm.com provides and builds, all of our integration together. So it should be a really, really good one. I think there's, a lot of people registered for it, but we still have a space for 100 or so more if you guys wanted to join on or have your technicians join on. Whitney, if you don't mind, at one point here, if you'll get a link to the registration and put that into the chat so that everybody can click on that if they want to register for that CEU webinar.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Okay, so it looks like a fair percentage of you are evaluating, so I appreciate that. And a lot of current customers here too. Really appreciate you guys and all your work, and hopefully even for you current customers, you'll walk away learning something that you can take and apply and use as you work. For those of you that are brand new, I want to do a quick introduction of who Qolsys is. It's pronounced Qolsys. I know we get a lot of interesting pronunciations based on the way we spell our name, but QOL is for quality of life, and SYS is for systems. It's quality of life systems. And our goal is to improve the quality of life through both innovation and technology. And we couldn't do it without our partnerships. In early days, we knew that we needed to be able to work with other people who are doing good things in the world, who are in our space being productive and innovative. The first partner that we made was Android. As you may or may not know, the IQ panel is based on the Android operating system. We take that into a custom version of Android for the IQ panel that is both secure and user-friendly and focused on the things that your customers would do. So it's been really great. It's given us a tool set that allows us to produce software very quickly. We don't have to worry about writing new software in order to make new software. We can literally use the software tools already built and create things right away. And you'll see as we go through the presentation, you'll see how many different software updates we've been able to produce over the past several years. And these are major software updates, and we couldn't do that without Android. Foxconn is another great partner of ours. They, if you don't know who they are, they're the largest basically consumer manufacturing plant in the world. They make all your Apple products. They make your Cisco routers, your Xboxes, your PlayStations. Basically any major device is going to be made by Foxconn, and we're really honored to have them as a partner manufacturing the IQ panel for us. Our third great partner is Alarm.com, who obviously is on the call today. Early days, we had originally planned on making our own back-end solution, but after seeing what Alarm.com is doing and continues to do in the market, we thought that would just be a colossal waste of our time. We did not want to be competing with someone who is obviously doing something so well, and so introductions were made and a partnership formed, and it's been an absolutely beautiful partnership ever since. We've been working with them for probably 4 different years now, integrating every piece of the IQ panel we can, and really coming at it from an approach of wanting to integrate and wanting to do things together. And together we've really created some amazing innovations, and it's been really exciting to see that partnership grow. And then the last one is Tyco. About 1.5 years ago, Tyco came to Qolsys and said, you know, we love what you're doing. We think you guys have a bright future ahead of you. Would you like a bag of coins? And we said sure. And in exchange for a few shares and access to their sales team, and as well as the ability to use a DSC version of the IQ panel, we created a partnership with Tyco. So it's been a really, really great partnership. And you guys probably already know in your area the Tyco sales rep who represents DSC brand and the other things is also able to represent the Qolsys brand, and he can answer all your questions, can do all the support you need, things like that. And if you don't know who that is, you can certainly reach out to us, and we are more than happy to make that introduction for you. So, Whitney, any questions from the group up to this point, or should we continue on?
We are good to go.
Okay, let's keep going. So we're going to talk a little bit today about the Internet of Home. This is a phrase that we've coined that kind of plays off the Internet of Things, which everyone's heard of, but it's focused around the home. And it applies to small businesses certainly, but the majority of what we do is residential solutions, and as such, we want to make sure that everybody understands that the Internet of Home is made up of 3 important elements, and you can't have the Internet of Home without all 3 of these things. The first one is the IQ panel. It's the brain of the home. It's your central hub where everything is focused in and out of the home, and that is, of course, our flagship product. The second piece of it is the Alarm.com interactive service. If all I have is an IQ panel but did not have an interactive service, then I could only do things locally. And of course, we know that 50 to 60 or more % of your interaction as a homeowner is going to be with your mobile app. Even within the walls of your own home, you'll often turn to your mobile app before you'll go to your panel, unless the panel happens to be convenient in there. That doesn't mean that the panel's not useful, because it certainly is, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. But that interactive service outside of the home is essential for making a really, really amazing connected solution. And of course, a network of smart connected devices built into that ecosystem is critical as well. If I had a panel and remote and Alarm.com service, it wouldn't do anything for me because I wouldn't have any devices to control or monitor. Having those devices, whether they're security, whether they're Z-Wave, whether they're Wi-Fi, whatever, allows us to be able to interact with those devices through the panel or through our Alarm.com interface, or both. So all 3 work together. It's a very fantastic relationship. Let's see. I want to talk about the IQ panel itself. Now, this is the brain of the home, like I mentioned, and it is your local interface inside the home. There's some people who, you know, out in the market today are building little hubs that allow you to have an app that can control your system, things like that. And some of these solutions are nice and they're convenient and they're easy to set up. However, it does not replace, in our opinion, it does not replace the need to have a local interface inside the home. Having a 7-inch touchscreen that looks beautiful, that has a panel camera built into it, that allows the customer to interact with their system, whether their phone is charged, whether their phone is lost, whether their phone is even there, is essential. You can imagine at my house how interesting it would be to have the alarm going off and if I had no panel and I was at work and my wife was out and my son came home from school, how would he disarm it? He would have to have some way to disarm it. Now, we could give him a key fob, but those are not terribly secure, so I wouldn't want to do that. So it's a little easier just to have a panel there. And to be perfectly honest, there's a lot of reasons why that panel is just beautiful inside the home. It turns into a photo frame when it's not being used. I heard a dealer call it stealth mode the other day, where when you put that SD card into the side of it, it turns into a photo frame, and it's not even there. It's not even in the home. It's just another photo frame. That camera, we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Being able to take those disarm photos and know that he's home and see that from my phone is really, really important to me. So having that local interface inside the home, to me, is critical. And I believe that your customers will feel the same way. And it also adds value to the system. You've all probably installed a system that was maybe a rubber button keypad or something that didn't meet your customer's expectation for technology. And there was always that little moment when you first showed them the panel, okay, here's your new system. And there was that kind of where their face fell just a little bit. You guys know what I'm talking about? And it was like, oh, they're disappointed, aren't they? You know, they look at that and they think that's not technology, not what I perceive as being, you know, the latest and greatest technology. However, when you put the IQ panel up on the wall and you show them their big, beautiful 7-inch touchscreen, there's that moment of, oh, wow, this is really cool. How do I use it? What do I do? And it creates enthusiasm. It's a system that is worth showing off. You're going to get more referrals because of it. And again, we'll talk about a lot of these things as we go throughout today, but very, very exciting. A lot of people ask us, what's the difference between the IQ panel and the other guys out there? And there's a lot of differences. In fact, we've got a very, very long list of them, and we'd be happy to share that list with you at some point if you really want to dive into it, especially for those of you that are evaluating. But
hold on, Jared.
To keep it high level and keep, oh, please go ahead.
You might be having some issues with people seeing the PowerPoint. Can anyone else not see the PowerPoint? Let's see.
Yeah, if you guys can't see the presentation, let us know. We definitely want to make sure that you can see it. We've got a lot to share today. Well, I'm going to keep going, and hopefully we can get those things figured out. Maybe
it looks like most people can. Okay, so Jason, just try logging out and back in. Sorry about that.
Yep. No, you're good. Thank you, Winnie. Yeah, we definitely don't want anyone to miss out. So a lot of people ask us what the difference is, and to keep it high level and keep it simple for you, it's a 7-inch touchscreen with a built-in panel camera. No one else has a built-in panel camera. I know that Honeywell Lyric coming out soon will have a built-in panel camera, but other than that, no one else does. And we think that's pretty important to be able to see who's disarming the panel, have that visual verification. Dual path connectivity. No one else has this either. The ability to connect to both cellular and Wi-Fi simultaneously so that all the signals coming in and out of the house are more flexible and easy and faster. Automatic updates. The ability to update the panel over time. Now, previously, panels could do a small amount of update over cellular, but you're limited to an update maybe 3 megs in size. It's expensive to do it that way, and it's time-consuming. With a Wi-Fi connection, we're able to do our automatic updates over the air using Wi-Fi, and a 90 meg update, again, compared to a 3 meg, a 90 meg update with new icons and new look and feel and all sorts of things could take just minutes, and your panel's back up and running and working and looking beautiful. Reducing truck rolls. We've done a lot of work with Alarm.com to reduce the amount of truck rolls that are required. I always tell people on our webinars, roll trucks if you want to, not because you have to. We've got entire customers who don't even own a single truck in their entire company because they are using AirFX so much for all of this stuff. And the integration with Alarm.com and Qolsys has really, really helped facilitate that. You can literally do almost everything from the panel locally and do it also remotely, all those same features. So really exciting and really fun. And that makes the panel DIY ready. If you would wanted to try out that opportunity in the market, DIY, I always tell people, is not a threat, it's an opportunity. There are customers out there who probably would have bought from you, but maybe didn't want a technician in their home, maybe didn't want to wait for a technician, maybe wanted it right away, things like that. If you've got an opportunity to do a DIY model in addition to your existing model, you are head and shoulders above the other guys who can only do one or the other. So You think about all the DIY projects that you perhaps have taken on yourself. You know, if there was someone there that if you got stuck, you could call them up and say, what do I do? I mean, I was building shells in my garage this past weekend, and boy, if there was someone I could have called and said, hey, I'm having trouble doing this, and they could just walk me through it, or if I knew that if I got stuck and I was just frustrated, I could just call someone and they could come finish it up for me, that'd be great, right? You know, it's the same thing. You are a professional installer, and you've got the ability to roll a truck if you want to, but again, you do that because you want to, not because you have to. And we tried to build the panel so it really is truly DIY ready. Help videos are a big one too. We know if you look at your research, and maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, there is, generally speaking, a certain number of reasons, and probably 10 to 15 different reasons why customers call in within the first 90 days as they get their system. They want to know how to add a user. They want to know how to disarm their system. They want to know how to, you know, connect Wi-Fi or, you know, things like that. All of those are placed in help videos so that rather than having to call into you or having to have a technician come out and show them, they simply go to their panel, touch the help icon, and they can watch a video about it. A short 1 minute to 2 minute video explains exactly what to do, shows them exactly how to do it, and then they walk away feeling like they could do it. And if they had that question at 2 a.m. in the morning, they don't have to worry about thinking that you won't be there because maybe your office is closed or things like that. So it adds a lot of capability to the panel, and you can customize those videos. You could even add in your own private videos. If you said, hey, I want to always add in a video about this service that we love to provide or another product that we always love to offer, things like that, you can, at the time of installation, put an SD card in the side of the panel and add your own videos to the panel as well, and they appear in the help section. So really exciting stuff, really cool stuff. And the last one is custom text-to-speech that I'll mention today, and that's the panel actually has the ability to use an on-screen keyboard, and you can type whatever name you want. So if you want Whitney's bedroom window as the name of that sensor, it will actually say Whitney's bedroom window. This panel, when you type in that name, it will send that to alarm.com, and when Whitney's bedroom window is left open, you'll see that on your alarm.com app, Whitney's bedroom window left open. You don't have to worry about scrolling through endless lists of different names that you can choose from. You don't have to worry about trying to pre-select, you know, or figure out that stuff. You literally just type on a keyboard, the same as you would on your phone, whatever name you want, and the panel will speak it. So very exciting. Before we move on, Whitney, are there any questions from the group that we should talk about?
No, sir. We're good to go.
Okay, let's keep on going. I want to point out that we're still the best 7-inch touchscreen in the market, and whether you're maybe offering one of these other panels or simply competing against them, I want you to be able to see why the IQ panel is still superior. This is the IQ panel that is in market, being sold today, has been being sold for the past two years or so. Wi-Fi, you know, if you look at the other panels that are out there, very few have Wi-Fi and are using it well. We've heard that the 2 gig GC3 is going to be getting Wi-Fi. It doesn't have it yet. But we're looking forward to them having that and seeing what other features that can do it. You know, in my mind, every time one of our competitors adds one of our services, one of the things that we do, all it does is challenge us to be better, because while they're busy trying to catch up to us, we're going to continue innovating and do things that they haven't even thought of. So we're very excited to see that Wi-Fi has been added to the new Honeywell panel coming out. Same thing for the panel camera. That's also in the new Honeywell Lyric panel. We're excited to see that. We're excited to see what they do with it, because we think that's going to challenge us to do more things with ours. Dual path connectivity. Again, like I mentioned, that's the ability to have cellular and Wi-Fi working simultaneously to give you faster and more flexible speeds and connection. Disarm photos. If the Honeywell panel camera does it, I don't know about it. I haven't seen it yet. But to my knowledge, we're the only ones doing that. Video tutorials, the Honeywell Lyric panel decided to put this and integrate this into their system, so I was excited to see that, but no one else has done that yet, which surprised me. We're the only one using an Android operating system that I'm aware of, and it surprised me, if you compare these panels side by side, how big some of them truly are. For those of you that came to our meeting room at ISC, we had all these panels out on a table, and when you compare the size of them, I can't tell you how many people came to me and said, holy cow, I had no idea the Vivint Sky panel was so big. And it really is. It's really big. They've done a great job building it. It looks beautiful. The screen itself is, you know, the way that they've done the user interface looks beautiful, but it's really large. When you see how nice and small the IQ panel looks compared to that, it allows you as a dealer, if you're competing with Vivint, which I know many of you are, out there in the market, it allows you to say, yeah, that maybe is the panel you got today, but look at the panel I'm going to install for you. Look how beautiful that is. Look how easy that is to use. So we really want to help you guys find ways to differentiate yourselves against the competition. A kit under $400. It's another thing that we've got going for us. You know, as you know, Triad's doing the special today for $365 for the kit. A language toggle, the ability to have Spanish language and French language built in. For those of you in Canada, if you've got French customers, you can literally go into the apps section, touch language, and voila, the whole panel turns into French. For those of you that are selling into neighborhoods that are either bilingual Spanish or even just full Spanish homes, there's Spanish localized for Mexico built right in. And we thank Google Android for that, partially, but we also had to go through and customize that to make sure that it translated everything the right way. And we worked with Alarm.com and a couple other organizations to make sure that translation worked really well. But again, with a touch of a button, you've got 3 languages in a single panel. Custom speech, software updates, having a 7-inch secondary panel. We're the only one that has that, which surprised me. I thought other people would, but we're the only one that has a 7-inch secondary so far. So there's a lot of advantages you'll see with the Qolsys IQ panel that you're not going to see with other panels out there. And hopefully they've got some things that they're working and creating that's going to drive us to be more creative and more powerful in what we're doing too. I'm going to continue on here. We're going to talk for a second about the all-in-one hardware. This is something that's confusing for a lot of people. All of our radios are built in. I wouldn't have thought this would be such a challenging thing to understand. Every time I talk to people about a panel, they always say, "Oh, okay, that's great. Well, how much is it to add the cell radio?" And I say, "No, it's included. It's in there. It's already in there. You know, Wi-Fi, cellular, security, Z-Wave, image sensor, all those radios are built in. The only thing you're running is power. And it's going to work beautifully. You can pair a whole bunch of different devices. You've got dual path connectivity. It's going to keep you connected to the cloud. There's no external antenna to run for your cellular line that you're used to running. And a lot of people say, well, what happens when you don't get great signal? Well, first off, you're going to get great signal. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a home and I've compared my Verizon phone signal to the amount of bars that I'm getting on the IQ panel. The IQ panel is almost always getting more. Very rarely have I ever seen that it's not getting more than the phone itself. The other thing that I notice is that with Wi-Fi enabled and the dual path connectivity enabled, you don't have to worry so much about getting amazing signal because the Wi-Fi makes up for it. Okay? So really nice to have all of those things built in. The other things we built in are an SD card slot, a lithium-ion battery, again included up to 24 hours, a UL-rated siren, dual speakers, and a microphone. So again, all those things built in from the start. You don't have to install anything or change anything, all ready to go. That dual path connectivity really makes it flexible too. So instead of having to walk around, for those of you that have done installations, with other systems, you've had to walk around the house and try and find that one spot in the house that gets 2 bars of service so you can install it. You know what I'm talking about. It's annoying, right? You don't have to worry about that now because once you connect the Wi-Fi and the cellular work together, and it says, hey, if cellular's a little slow, don't worry, I'm going to go Wi-Fi. If Wi-Fi's a little slow and bogged down, don't worry, I'll go cellular. And it's intelligent redundancy in real time. There's no dialer delay. There's no waiting for a signal to stop working. There's no landline at all. We don't do POTS at all. So that's another great advantage to this. Is we've done away with that dying technology all the way. So, and you'll see a lot of improved performance. Everyone's very impressed when they install their first panel. In fact, I'd love to hear from some of you guys that have installed your panels, what your experiences are in terms of the speed when you enable dual path connectivity. How much faster does it feel when you're using that compared to maybe what some of the other platforms you've used? Love to hear your comments. We've also, because we've got such a big screen, we can do a lot of really great things. We've got our touch arming allows you to see all this stuff all at once. You want to bypass the sensor, just select it. If it's open already, it's going to float to the top of the list automatically. So if that nursery window is closed at the bottom of the list, it automatically pops to the top and goes in bold. And if you've got auto bypass turned on, it'll automatically check it. If you want to turn off your exit sounds or entry delay, again, just touching whichever option you want. Very easy to use, very intuitive, almost no explanation needed at all for your customer. And that's going to reduce the time that you have to take educating your customer. It's going to reduce the amount of false alarms. Should make everybody happy. We also show today's weather on the screen. This is my kids' favorite feature. Every morning, literally every morning, my girls get up and fight over who's going to be the one to check the weather. And they run up there, they touch it, and then they want to see, you know, what's the weather going to be like today, and then they decide what they're going to wear. And can someone please explain to me why 3-year-olds think that year-round they're supposed to wear swimsuits? My daughter yesterday literally comes in, it's like raining and cold outside. Dad, I want to put my swimsuit on. Like, baby, you can't put your swimsuit on. What are you doing? Put on some regular clothes. No, Dad, I want to wear my swimsuit. Why? Because I like to wear swimsuits. I don't have an explanation. So she's 3 years old, so apparently she doesn't check the weather on the panel. Disarm photos. This is something that's really exciting, really exciting. So not only do we have the ability to take a photo when the panel's disarmed, and be able to capture the name of the user who disarmed it and the date and time, but with our 161 software update that's coming out very soon, hopefully here in the next week or two or so, those photos will actually go to the cloud. And I put this on our panel last week and disarmed our panel in our office, and a little while later, voila, I saw a picture of my face disarming the panel along with my name and the date and time. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting to know that wherever I am in the world, I'm here in Chicago right now, my family's back home. When my wife gets home from, you know, running to the library with the kids or whatever it is she's doing, I'll be able to see a text message that says, hey, you know, system was disarmed by Erin. And I'll see her face, I'll see her cute little smile, and I know that everyone's safe. You know, it's that visual verification and that feeling of connection that I think really, really resonates with customers. And at the first time they get that picture on their phone or on their watch or whatever it is they use, they're going to say, okay, this is cool. This is really cool. So, Whitney, before we go on, any other questions or comments that we should bring up?
Let me take a look. Nope, it looks like we're good to go.
Okay. All right. We've also built in support for up to 5 image sensors, and you can view those inside the camera app on your thing. If you're not familiar with the image sensor, Alarm.com makes this amazing little product. It's a motion sensor with a built-in still camera. When I worked for a dealer years ago, we had a 75% attach rate on these. Our sales team would offer these instead of motion sensors. They said, anywhere you're going to have a motion sensor, you might as well have a camera too. And it was really exciting for customers to get their daily view of what was happening in their home, and to be able to know that, you know, their home was safe and have that. Again, it's that visual verification people love being able to see. And the panel natively supports up to 5 of those. Everyone knows what the little bubble means. If you get a little 2 on your phone icon there, it means that, you know, you've got a message. You know, there's something there to pay attention to. If it's on your status app, then you know there's 2 things that you need to pay, you know, that need your attention in status. And touching it then, of course, brings you to whatever it is you can see what it is. And for those of you, and Carmen will explain this, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but for those of you that are Alarm.com's silver package and above, is that right, Carmen? You can have your actual logo on the panel screen.
Yep, that's right. Exactly.
So that you'll actually have a place on your Alarm.com dealer portal where you upload your logo, and then your logo, your contact information, all of it automatically syncs with the panel when you activate it. And so now when your customer walks up to their panel, they see your logo there in place of the contact us icon. And then, of course, when they touch it, they can see your contact information, see your website, see your email address, etc. And you can even push messages out to them sent from AirFX. So pretty exciting. And a really great way of branding the panel yourself, making it feel like this is your panel and your company. You can see in here, this is an example of what the contact information looks like. You can see, you know, you've got space for 2 different taglines: phone number, email, website, and of course, if you touch on the message center, you've got the ability to send up to 10 different, I think it's 10 different messages. Is that right, Carmen? Or maybe one of your technologies. Yeah, the enterprise notifications or enterprise messages. There's like 10 different semi-customizable messages, right?
Yeah, there's a number of preset messages.
Yeah, so you can go in and you can do things like, you know, hey, welcome to company name, or hey, do you have a question? Call us at, and then there's a place where you can fill in the phone number, or your bill for this much money is due on this date, things like that. You know, just the ability to kind of keep in contact with your customer. And for those of you that are using Alarm.com web services, I believe you can do even more customization, right?
That's right. Yeah, using web services, it makes it really easy to send these messages to the panel. And obviously, if you look at the preset ones, and there's not something there that kind of fits exactly what you're looking to communicate to your customer through the panel. You know, we've got a pretty good set from welcoming, expressing, you know, like an availability to answer any questions, but then also reminders about bills. If they've got bills that are past due, we've got some for that. But if you want to customize something else, that's generally something we can do for you.
That's excellent. Excellent. I know that we've had some questions before about web services. If someone is interested in web services, what are kind of the prerequisites or the requirements or recommendations you would have for them if they wanted to go that route?
Yeah, so web services are a great feature of Alarm.com, especially for folks that are, that have an IT department that can kind of set up the infrastructure on your end of things to be able to call our web services with the proper information. You can do a lot of cool things with it, though. You can set up accounts, customer accounts with it. You can set up rep logins with it. You can do a lot of cool, you can pull equipment lists. So you can do a lot of your business with Alarm.com through web services and integrate that into your own interfaces if you've done the development work to set that sort of thing up.
Yeah, so for those of you that are smaller dealers, you might not want to try and investigate this too much, but if you're larger, maybe you're trying to investigate doing things like, creating a kind of shopping cart experience where you wanted to have people create an account online and start an account online, and then you would mail them the equipment, and they could kind of do like a DIY model type thing. You definitely want to integrate web services into what you're doing there so that when they fill out their information, that it would then tie into Alarm.com and automatically create that account for you, and then that would light up on your side there, right?
Yeah, what you're referencing there, what we call commitments, is a really great tool that anyone who's interested in Alarm.com or currently using Alarm.com should consider. What he's talking about, like passing that information about the customer over. We could then create the shell of the account, and then that's ready to go. When you get the panel, have the serial number, enter that, and then it's only when you enter that serial number for the panel that the account is actually created. So it's a great way to kind of front load your work if you've got a busy week coming up and you want to cut down your install times, or if you've got an example like where you've got a shopping cart for the customer, you can turn the information you've got directly into a commitment and get some great efficiency that way.
And if you guys, anybody on this call, if you're interested in learning more about that, just type that into the question box right here. We'll make a note of that, and then we'll make sure that the Alarm.com representatives in your area reach out to you and discuss your options and make sure that you're taken care of. So, all right, Whitney, anything else before we keep on going?
Yes, we got one question from Ken. Does the panel support 319 and 433 peripherals in the same installation?
Good question. So the IQ panel has a 319.5 radio frequency security radio built into it. The DSC Touch has a 433 radio built into it. So you need to choose which one you wanted based on the type of peripherals you have. Now, if you, let's say you go into a home where you have an existing 433 system installed. They have a bunch of DSC sensors. Maybe they were using a DSC in PASA or something like that previously. And they want to use the IQ panel. Well, if you don't want to install the DSC Touch and you wanted to use the IQ panel instead, what you would do is you would use one of our translators that translates 433 signals into 319. And that way, all your new 319 devices and your 433 devices would all work. I'll give you a perfect example. That I have a condo. It was my wife's and my first home. And when our family got too large for it, a two-bedroom condo, we moved out and got a new home. But the market was such that we couldn't sell it at the time, so we started renting it out, and we've had renters in it ever since. Well, one of our renters actually worked for Vivint, and he asked permission to install a 2 gig Vivint system in there, and I gave him permission. And so that home has 345 sensors on all the doors and windows, as well as 345 motion sensors. Well, when he moved out, I took the 2 gig panel out and put in an IQ panel in its place. I put in a translator to translate all the 345 signals into 319, and then I put in some additional devices like some Z-Wave devices, some sensors under the sink for flood sensors, and sensors on doors and inside the home and things like that. And as I continued to build out the 319 system, the 345 system that was already there still continued to work and still function. I didn't have to replace those sensors. So it's really great if you're trying to integrate a whole lot of existing sensors and want to save the money for that. You can use a translator in its place. We do not currently offer a panel that does both at the same time. You would have to use a translator for either the 345 frequency or the 433 frequency, whichever one you happen to use. So great question. Hope that answered it. Whitney, anything else that we should address before moving on?
Yeah, we just got a bunch of questions. Can you do that?
Okay. Yeah, so GE uses a 319.5 radio already, so all your GE sensors should natively learn into the panel without any problem, with the IQ panel. So you shouldn't have any issue there. Now, if you did want to use a 319 to 319 translator or a repeater is another thing they call for it. All that does is expand your range, but it doesn't. You don't need to use one of those because the panel already speaks 319.5. Great question. What else?
Pete asks, will Qolsys support Nest in the future, the IQ panel support Nest?
Great question. Actually, Alarm.com already has Nest integration. Carmen, do you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, so Alarm.com does work with the Nest. We aren't able to do quite the same degree of functionality we can do with the smart thermostat or some of the other Z-Wave thermostats on the market, but we have done the back-end integration so that if they have a Nest when you show up to do a security consultation and home automation consultation, you don't have to tell them you're going to replace their nice $350 thermostat. We can tie their account to their Alarm.com account, and then they can, bump the temperature up and down, change modes, those sorts of things right there through the Alarm.com app. So that is
I think you made a really good point there, in that a lot of times what's happening is you're walking into a home that already has a Nest thermostat, and they're saying, "Can I keep this?" And the answer is yes, you can. You can use this You can use this Nest thermostat. We'll tie into it. You'll still have the ability to adjust your temperature. But here's what you're going to lose, just so you know. So that you can present it to your customer if they want to do something in the future. I have the Alarm.com thermostat in my home, and I absolutely love it. Not only does it have the ability to adjust temperature remotely up and down, but with the geofencing feature, I can, when I drive away from my house, my thermostat will automatically turn itself down. So when I'm not there, it knows I'm not there and adjusts the thermostat to save me money. Now, the other thing it does is it knows that my wife still is there. So if my wife's phone is still within the geofence, within the home geofence, it knows not to adjust the temperature. But as soon as she drives away, maybe she heads over to the park with the kids or something like that, then it says, hey, both phones have left the geofence, turn down the thermostat. The other thing I love that I use personally is the sensor left open rule. And my kids are always in and out of that. I mean, I've got 4 kids, and they're always going out in the backyard to go play, maybe going out in the front yard to go play with friends or ride bikes. And whenever they do, it's almost inevitable that someone's going to leave a door open. Well, there's nothing worse than having to pay for, a heater or air conditioner to heat the whole neighborhood, right? So as soon as that door opens up, I've got a rule that says if doors left open for more than a minute, turn off the thermostat. I actually have it adjusted to adjust by 5 degrees. And it will automatically do that and keep it adjusted down until the door gets closed again, and then it'll resume its schedule. So it's, again, another way of just saving money, saving energy that you're not going to get with that Nest integration, and that makes it a little bit more superior with using the Alarm.com thermostat or another Z-Wave thermostat. The other thing I love is the remote temperature sensors. They're little devices that you can put throughout the house. So let's say that we're all downstairs in the basement, and we want to, maybe it's a little too cool down there, we want to turn the heater on. If we turn the heater on, it's going to adjust to whatever temperature it is upstairs because that's where the thermostat is. But with the remote temperature sensor downstairs, we could say, hey, adjust the temperature until it meets the temperature downstairs instead, and we can select which thermometer, basically, to gauge everything off of. Alarm.com, have I left anything out there, anything pertinent you'd like to add?
No, that is, I was just saying to Carmen, we were on mute, we should make it clear that you're not being paid anything by Alarm.com for this, but that is an excellent description of the functionality with the Alarm.com smart thermostat and the remote temperature sensor. One of the big things, right, that Alarm.com allows you to do is really fully integrate the security system and the thermostat, so we can do, like you're talking about with GeoServices, right? If we know you're not home and no one in your family's home, we might as well set it to a temperature that's going to save you some money, save some energy. And then when we do know you're home, we can say, hey, if it's, bedtime, right? We have a sleep temperature, so drive the temperature off of, maybe 1 or 2 temperature sensors upstairs where you're going to be sleeping. Your home, in the living room watching TV in the evening, let's drive it off of where you're at in the den. So that level of integration. We've also got some cool stuff where if there's a fire alarm, we'll actually shut off the fan so we're not circulating smoky air or fanning the fire. And that's one of many things that you would lose to go to the Nest integration. That said, we would much rather you be able to say, it looks like you've already made an investment in a thermostat that you probably love, so we're going to leave that where it's at and just tie that to your alarm.com system. So we're big on options, and hopefully that gives you a good set of options that in one way or another are going to help you close that sale.
Absolutely. And in the future, maybe once that customer's had it for a while and you have got an opportunity to reach out to them 6 months, 8 months, a year down the road, you can say, hey, here's some of the advantages your other thermostat might have. And, I've heard rumor that you could sell your, Nest on Amazon and be able to, make enough money to buy that new alarm.com thermostat. Again, Nest is a fantastic looking product. They've done a great job with it. But there's just simply, it doesn't compare, in my opinion, to the features you can get with the alarm.com thermostat. That's why I use that in my home. And this, along with anything else, all of the things we'll talk about today, if you don't have these products in your home and are using them today, I really strongly recommend you do. Every time we get a new salesperson, someone new on our team, the very first thing I do is say, you've got to install your own system, make it as robust as possible. The more devices you put in there, the more Z-Wave things, the more sensors, the more robust that system can be, the more intelligence you're going to have, the more capabilities you're going to have. So I really recommend, if you're not doing it now, get one installed in your own home and see for yourself how easy this stuff is to use, see how nice it is to use, and I think you'd really, really be surprised. I want to keep on moving here, but Whitney, were there other pertinent questions that we want to address before we go too much further?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay, great. Well, we talk about, I touched on Z-Wave a second ago. The IQ panel is already built in, ready to go with a Z-Wave radio that can control thermostats, smart sockets, door locks, lights, garage doors, other home control devices like sirens. We've even got a small amount of automation built in, although I don't use it. I use all the automation from my alarm.com account. So there's a lot of capabilities there. And I really encourage you guys to just push the envelope. We can support up to 75 Z-Wave devices. I've got a very robust system in my own home. I continue to try and push as much as I can into my system to really push the system's limits, and I have not been able to reach the system limits that we've set right now. And the interesting thing is, every time we have a software update, it seems like we're expanding those limits out. So that's another great advantage to having software updates, is we can continue to integrate with devices that maybe haven't even been created today. A new cool device comes out next week, we can push out a software update that allows you to be able to use that for your customers and integrate with that with your customers. So really exciting stuff.
And Jeremy,
I mentioned, oh yeah, please, go ahead.
Oh, just to chime in here with Z-Wave, that's a great example where there are new devices coming out that communicate different things to the panel, and the Z-Wave is developing what they call command classes on an ongoing basis. So being able to update your panel to support those devices that are constantly evolving and being able to support more and more different things in the home is really a huge advantage. So you can take advantage of all this great stuff that Alarm.com can support on the customer end.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing you guys want to do is install a panel and then have your customer call you 6 months or a year or even 2 years from now and say, hey, can you guys do this? And you can say, well, yes, but not with the panel you have. And now the customer is in that awkward situation where they're saying, I want that and you can't do it for me unless I buy a new panel. Well, in this case, you don't have to worry about it, because with the IQ panel, you get a software update and it can do all those things. So you're literally getting, everything fresh and new every time we release a new software update. And it's very exciting for, a customer to feel like, oh, I just got something new, and now I'm going to go in and use my system more. I'm going to go in and interact with my system more. So AutoLearn, I want to touch on this real quick. Our AutoLearn app makes it really easy to integrate a system and build a system out. First off, we use real words. Instead of having to memorize a bunch of, group types, like, oh, this is a group 10, or whatever. We still include that for those veteran installers, but a group 10 is an entry, exit, normal delay. So we put that right in there in words. So your technician training doesn't have to be nearly as extensive, because literally they open and close the sensor. It says, do you want to add this sensor? I click OK, and then I can see, well, this is the door window. If it's not a door window, I can change it to a motion. And let's say I want to change it to a flood or whatever. If I change it to a flood sensor, I'm only going to get sensor names for flood sensors. I'm only going to get sensor groups for flood sensors. I'm never going to accidentally learn in a key fob as a smoke detector. I'm never going to accidentally learn in a door window sensor as a flood sensor. So it takes that ease of use and installation time and really, really just makes it easy, super easy. I have heard from dealers that, generally speaking, they are about 30 minutes faster installing an IQ panel system than any other system out there. Now, I will warn you that if you're looking to save a bunch of money on technicians, you probably want to investigate the DIY route, because we have found more and more that the time saved does not always come back to you, that instead the time is ended up instead spent time with the customer configuring their system on the alarm.com side. Because before, you might just activate a system and walk out of the door. Now a customer's saying, I want to figure out these rules. I want to create these notifications. And you spend your time configuring your system. Now the advantage of that is your customer is going to be more engaged with your system than ever before. You'll find customers are using their system all the time. I haven't seen the exact data, but I heard from an alarm.com rep I was talking to the other day that there's a significant percentage of usage higher with the IQ panel than there is with other non-touchscreen panels, because of the fact that there is all of this stuff together. I've got a dealer down in Louisiana who told me that when he started offering the IQ panel, that his customers went from just getting a couple door window sensors and a motion sensor, and that's about it, to now ordering light modules and lamp modules and light bulbs and door locks and thermostats. They're now ordering all sorts of things, because it's that same mentality you all had, and you guys know what I'm talking about, when you got your smartphone for the first time and you went to your friend who convinced you to get a smartphone, and what was the first thing you said? What apps do you have? What else can you do with this? It's the same thing here. People want to know, what else can I do with this? It looks like it can do a whole bunch of stuff, so I want to do everything it can do. And they get excited about it. The moment they get a taste for it, they get hooked. And they will literally start asking for more and more things. And luckily, you can do all that stuff easily and quickly in the home, or you can even, through the magic of AirFX, you can do it outside of the home. So if a customer says, hey, I really want an image sensor, you can pair an image sensor and mail it to them, and they can put it up in their home, and voila, you never had to roll a truck. If you wanted them to do this process, it's very simple for a customer to do this too. If you wanted to give them access to your installer settings, I've heard of some companies doing that as well, is walking a customer through it and having them do even the pairing process themselves. So whatever model you want to use, we're flexible. We want you to know that you can do it. Whether you want the customer to do everything or you want the customer to do nothing, you want to be in the home or out of the home, it's all very, very flexible and very intelligent. We talked a lot about software updates. I'm going to skip on past this because obviously we've already mentioned it, but you can see there's an example of our old user interface and the new user interface. One of the things we've really focused on is trying to push out a new software update every few months. You can see when we launched in 2014 with our 1.3.1 software, it included a nice list of features, and every few months, March, June, September, January, June, January, I mean, we're pushing out new software updates that add capabilities, that add functions, that add features, that fix bugs and improve performance, add support for new Z-Wave devices, and we continue to push out these software updates, keeping the panel always fresh and new, keeping you and your customers aware of what's going on in the system and feeling like they're involved in it. We also worked very hard to try and create a very consistent experience with alarm.com. In my opinion, the hardest thing to do for a customer is to have to relearn new user interfaces all the time. You get a lot of customers who just don't want to do that. But if they can go to their panel and it's an orange lock for arm stay, and it says orange lock on their secondary, it's the same orange lock on their phone, on their tablet, on their computer, they now know orange lock means arm stay. Same as you know that the blue square with a white F on it means Facebook on your phone, right? We don't read the word Facebook to find the app that we want. We look for the icon, the color, the shape, the symbol, and we get used to that. We want that same kind of consistent customer experience across the board so that your customers feel like it's all part of one suite. And it makes you look more professional in the home, too, when you say, hey, I've got this app for you, and the app feels like the panel's interface does. Whitney, anything to add to that, or anything from the customers or from our dealers?
I think we are caught up on questions for now.
Awesome. Thanks for managing those. The panel is available in two forms, like I mentioned, IQ Panel in 319.5 and DSC Touch in 433. It comes with Verizon, AT&T, Rogers, and Telefonica. We recommend you purchase the kit that comes with the motion, 4-door windows, a doorbell, and for a limited time, a tilt sensor as well. It is the best kit on the market. There's the most devices in it. That motion sensor could be used not just for security, but also for triggering things like when motion detected, turn on a light bulb, things like that. Our mini sensors have double batteries for 8 to 10-year battery life, extended antennas so you can put them on any surface and for better range, rare earth magnets for nice wide gaps, and it comes with up to 4 of them in the box. The IQ doorbell is a really unique sensor. It allows you to take any home's existing doorbell chime and make it a smart doorbell. And you can use it to chime on all your panels as well as the doorbell unit in the home, turn on a porch light maybe, get a text message, activate the Alarm.com outdoor video camera. Whatever you want to do, you can turn this little doorbell sensor, a simple little sensor, it wires in probably 30 seconds or less, and turns that home's existing doorbell button into a smart doorbell button. And it also includes, for a limited time, it includes that tilt sensor. It allows you to protect everything in the garage door. I've got a geofence set up so that when I drive away from home, if I forget to close my garage, I get a text message. You forgot to close the garage. And I can, of course, from my app, I use my my LiftMaster garage door opener, and I can close it from there. If they don't have that, they can always just drive back and close it. But there's nothing worse than that feeling coming home after a vacation or a long day or whatever and seeing the garage door open and you're thinking, oh my gosh, please tell me everything's still there. We keep a lot of stuff in our garage. So remember that Triad Special is only $365, and that comes with that entire kit that we just described. For a limited time, we're also including a free IQ light bulb. That's good through the end of June. Yale will throw in $15 towards a lock, so you'll get a Yale lock for $15 off. And if you're a rapid response dealer or want to activate your system with rapid response, at the time of purchase, you can also ask for a certificate that'll allow you to get a free year of monitoring. So that's $72 right there. The light bulb's, what, $30 or so. You're going to end up saving quite a bit of money. You add in the free tilt to that, the free light bulb. I mean, you're looking at probably $150, $160 worth of stuff, for really, really good value. So definitely get down to Triad and take advantage of that special. We are almost out of time, so I feel bad because there's still so much I'd love to talk about. Interactive services, I really hope you guys are familiar with the interactive services from Alarm.com. In a nutshell, one action can trigger many. You can tell your panel, hey, do this. I'm home. And now it can unlock, you can lock the door, it can turn on the light, turn on the blender, turn up the thermostat, do all these things all together for you. Your geofences, like we've talked about a lot today, are all activated within your Alarm.com customer portal and can trigger rules. All of the best-in-class integration that we've talked so much about today, allowing you to retire the truck if you choose to and not have to spend all that money. Having technicians go out to a home for something that simply could be done online, like rediscovering the Z-Wave network or backing up the panel or sending a message to the panel or rebooting the panel, things like that. And of course, you can set up notifications, all sorts of rules. And if you're not familiar with all these things, please contact your Alarm.com representative and have them show you. This is what makes the system so powerful, is this giant ecosystem of connected devices that would allow you to connect all these things together. Again, part of that kit allows you to get the light bulb and the doorbell sensor right off the bat. So you've got a good front door solution for them right now when you buy that kit. Add in a door lock, the Yale door lock for $15 off, and then one of the Alarm.com outdoor cameras, and you've got an even better smart front door solution. And for the best smart front door solution, you also add in the new SkyBell integration that Alarm.com's just announced and allow you to actually go in and unlike the regular SkyBell integration, the regular SkyBell app, with the Alarm.com SkyBell, you can actually lock and unlock your doors. So that Yale lock you're going to get a $15 discount off of, you'll be able to actually lock and unlock your door right from the app, and it makes it really, really easy to use. Your total cost of ownership is going to be lower. You've got faster installs. That's going to be, you know, less time that the technician spends in the home. Fewer truck rolls, like we've talked about. Increased usage. More devices. People are going to be buying more things from you. You've got dual path connectivity. It's going to make things faster and reduce the amount of data you're having to use. You've got special pricing through Triad that we just announced and Yale. You've got free devices you're going to get, the light bulb and the tilt. And of course, all of that's going to give you a really robust system that's going to get you more referrals. So the total cost of ownership of an IQ panel security kit, I would challenge anyone that this would be probably the cheapest and best system you can install in any system out there. And I would really challenge you to put that to the test, because I think that you'll find with all these things combined, it's just going to be super, super powerful for you. We've got a lot of sales tools. I want to zip through these real quick. Again, I know that we're almost out of time. In fact, we're out of time. But for those of you that like to stay on, I want to make sure that you understand some of the things that we're making available to you to make things easier. The first I would recommend is switching your pitch. If you're currently leading with a security-based pricing model, I would suggest basing it off of interactive service. Your interactive service fee is going to be $34.95. If you like to break it down and say this portion of your bill is security, this portion of your bill is automation, then make the security portion of the bill $5. Imagine how much value that has when you say you're going to get all this round-the-clock monitoring and it's only costing you $5. How much does ADT cost for their round-the-clock monitoring? Well, I think they're like $34 a month or $50 a month. Well, that suddenly makes you look like you are very inexpensive. And your interactive services, that's the stuff they use every day, right? Focus it around what they use every day. You know, they're going to use the notifications when the door is left open, the thermostat, the ability to adjust the thermostat, the ability to have multiple user codes that they can give out to their friends and family to lock and unlock their door and automatically disarm their system. You know, they're going to use those features every single day. Yes, they might have a break-in, they might have a fire, that having that monitoring station is useful, and we want to make sure that that is absolutely part of the system, because that's, again, that's the core of probably why they came to you in the first place. But that's certainly not why they're using it every single day. I would hope that your customers aren't using it every day because they're having break-ins every day. I would hope that the sign out front, the stickers you're putting on the windows, are deterring those things, and now it's turning into something that allows you to really build a system around their lifestyle. Things that they're going to use every single day, things that they're going to be excited about, things they're going to tell their friends about. We have, in order to help you, an emulator. If you go to Qolsys.com/emulator, you'll be able to use this emulator to emulate the IQ panel's experience. You can show them how to arm, disarm, check the weather, etc. We've got our Find a Dealer tool. We would encourage all of you, if you've got Qolsys products on your website, you can send us an email at marketing@Qolsys.com and be able to put your company name, phone number, website, email address, physical address, and we'll put it all in there so that when customers are looking for someone in their area, that they can find you. We've got a dealer portal with all sorts of great information, everything from training to documentation to sales and marketing materials. And we've got things like video brochures and displays and things like that. If you wanted to actually purchase high-quality display materials, you could do that from us as well. But we focus everything around digitally. You know, go digital as much as you can. We've also got pre-built emails. You know, maybe you want to download the email that says refer a friend and get a free device. You know, or you know, hey, upgrade your old rubber button keypad today to the new touchscreen IQ panel. Things like that. We're building these emails for you, and we'll put them on the dealer portal so you can download them and send them to your customers or potential customers and try and get new business. And if you don't see what you need, again, send an email to marketing@Qolsys.com. We'll make it for you. We really want to be a great partner with that. We've got a lot of great videos that teach you how to install things. You can use them for your customers or use them for your technicians. Go to our YouTube page, Qolsys.com, and click on YouTube link up in the top corner, or you can go to youtube.com/Qolsys and watch those Ask Jenny videos. A lot of fun. Don't forget, if you're watching those, watch all the way through the outtakes. You'll see a lot of fun things in there too. And a lot of those same things that we offer from Qolsys, Alarm.com is also offering as well. So, and I don't want to spend too much time because officially we're out of time, but if you guys want to maybe point out some of the things that the Alarm.com dealer portal can offer our dealers from a sales and marketing standpoint.
Absolutely. So you can find a lot of similar stuff, like you mentioned, brochures and posters and all kinds of sales and marketing materials in our portal. Mobile sales is a tablet-based sales tool, which lots of tips and tricks on how to sell systems, and also some customer-facing interactive tools to help you sit across the table and close those deals for both residential and commercial customers. Customer Connections is the customer email and communications campaign that we mentioned earlier to help you make sure your customers stick around for the long term, and then also upsell and refer their friends. Brand management, that's where you're going to find things like how to add your logo and your contact information to the panel, as well as some other stuff for branding the customer website and mobile app and all those types of things. Premier Partner Program, that's our program for dealers that sell 52 accounts and up. And I think, Jeremy, you mentioned before, panel branding becomes available once you hit silver status, which is 156 accounts a year.
There you go. And guys, of course, you know, if you want help with any of this stuff, if you want someone to walk you through it, you want to, you know, there's something specific you're looking for that you don't know where to find it, you can let us know. We're happy to point you in the right direction. Your alarm.com rep will know. You can even chat it into the, you know, put it in a chat right here, and we'll make sure that someone can reach out to you and say, yeah, this is where you can find it, or this is what you can do. If you've got questions or suggestions or ideas, the whole goal of the Qolsys and alarm.com marketing departments is to support you guys in offering our products in a way that is exciting, that is fun, that is engaging for your customers, and to help those customers want to refer more, to use their system more, and to really experience everything that we have to offer. So we hope you'll take full advantage of that. And I really, truly do mean that. I think there's a lot of people out there who would say, yeah, sure, but then they don't call. Please, I can't tell you how many times both Whitney and I take calls from you guys and you know, find some simple solution. Whitney, remember that day that, you know, we had a call from a dealer who said, I really need a picture of a panel in the foreground on a table stand, and like a kid coloring in the background, kind of blurry though. We're like, yeah, sure, we could set that up. Whitney brought the camera home that night, shot that picture, 3 or 4 different versions of it, sent it over to the dealer the next day, and they were like, this is fantastic. It's still up there on their website today. It's their main lead and image. And, you know, we're happy to do things like that. We want to help build custom emails for you. We want to help build it. Now, doesn't mean that we won't end up using that same image for somebody else, but you're helping us build our library the same as you're doing yours. And we want it to be a true partnership. We really want to feel like you guys are part of what we're doing and we're part of what you're doing. If you're already planning on coming to ESX, I really hope you'll come meet me. I'd love to meet you. Come to our meeting room there. Come down to the Tyco booth, and we'll have guys down there as well. We won an innovation award for our IQ Panel 2 that's coming out later this year. We're excited about that. We'll be competing in the best of show for that. Yale Real Living won in their category. They won for the Next Touch lock that they're releasing here later this month or beginning of next. And then Alarm.com also won as well for their partner services. So really exciting to have, you know, 3 of the Innovation Award winners, you know, as part of this offer this month and as part of our webinar today. So we hope that you guys, if you are coming to ESX, will see us. And maybe if you're on the fence about going to ESX, you know, maybe that'll convince you. Maybe we'd love to meet you, so we'd love to have you come on out. Again, just to remind you, that Triad special is $365 for a 4111. You get the free light bulb, you get $15 off a Yale lock, and a free year of rapid response monitoring. All those are right there at the counter, so make sure you ask for that coupon for the free year of rapid response when you check out. But we hope you'll get down there today, if not today, sometime this week, and get those systems, make those purchases. We really want to make sure that you guys feel supported, and as you install it for the first, reach out to us. Let us know what your experience is like. Let us know how we can help. Let us know what we can do. The webinar is officially over. I think we'll probably have a few more questions that we'll want to field. So Whitney, if you can push those questions to us, we'll talk about those questions. For the rest of you, if your time is up, and I apologize for keeping you long, you're welcome to go. We're excited to oh, Whitney, we're supposed to do a drawing today, aren't we?
Yeah, I was just going to tell you that. We have a drawing for, I think it's 3 security kits. Let me double check that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. So we're going to do a drawing for 3 security kits, and we'll mail them to, I think we're going to send them to the branch that you indicated when you registered today.
Mm-hmm, yep,
what we're going to do, yep, so what we'll do is give me, so for the audience, the way this is going to work is we're going to pick 3 numbers. between 1 and 500, and the three numbers we'll take are the first three numbers you guys chat into us, and we'll look at what because everyone's got a number when they come into the thing. You're assigned a number. We'll take the first three numbers and we'll assign the people accordingly. So, Whitney, what are the first three? What's the first number?
Let me see. 24.
24. All right. 24. That looks like Chris Noctegale. I hope I said that right. Noctegale? Noctegale? Nactegale. So Chris, congratulations. You just won an IQ security kit. Okay, what's the next number?
8.
8. All right. Scroll up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bijou Lula. Bijou. I apologize for mispronouncing your name if I did. And then Lula is Lulla. Congratulations, you also won a security kit. And then the third number?
32.
32. 32 is Gary Rouser. Gary Rouser, Rouzer. So congratulations, you guys. You won an IQ security kit. We'll send those to the Triad branch location that you are typically buying your stuff from. Give us about a week or 2 or 3 to get that over there. And again,
I'll send you guys tracking information and things so you know what to expect. So be looking for an email from me. My name's Whitney White.
Okay, perfect. And then, of course, everyone is going to get a free light bulb for every security kit you buy. And you're going to get a $15 off of Yale lock for every security kit you buy. And of course, the free tilt is inside the box for every security kit you buy, and a free year of rapid response monitoring for every kit you buy. So there's really no losers on the call today. I feel like really cheesy saying that, but and of course, all of our support, both Alarm.com and Qolsys here, ready and willing to assist you. Whitney, what other questions are there? And again, if you guys need to go, you're certainly welcome to leave. The webinar will be up online here later today on our YouTube page. But for those of you that have a question you still want an answer to, make sure you type it in the chat right now, and we'll get it answered. Whitney, what other questions were up?
I think I've gotten all the questions answered. We're getting just a few stragglers.
Okay.
One's asking where his local Triad is, so I'm going to go ahead and get that for him.
Okay, excellent. Well, guys, I hope you learned a lot. I hope this was useful. Carmen and the rest of you guys, thank you so much for being on the call today. It was really nice having you. I feel like we probably should have done a 2-hour webinar instead of 1 hour because we have so much to talk about, so much to share. But we'd love to have you guys back again on a future webinar. We're really excited to have everyone participating today. Carmen, anything to add?
No, it was wonderful. Thank you so very much. We really appreciate the opportunity. And if there's any dealers that need any help, feel free to reach out to us through our website on alarm.com.
Okay. Well, thanks, everyone. We will talk to you soon. Have a great day.